G'day guys, welcome back to the Two Wheel Zoo. Nick here to help tell the story of day 1 and day 2 of our adventure to the MotoGP in Phillip Island. We're here at Eucla as we post this, awaiting the cross into South Australia tomorrow. 2 eventful days we've had, and we'll go into the details of that throughout. Enjoy. G'day guys, how you going? Welcome back to episode 3. The beginning of our journey started, planned to start 8 o'clock. Chris slept in and rolled up around 9, give or take, mostly take. We began the day by heading to fuel up all the vehicles heading along. So taking the car and the 2 bikes, head to Mundaring to fill up. Everyone fills up, car leaves to go get some water, the bikes go to leave, Chris's bike doesn't start. Good start.
We got a flat battery at the first service station. How good's that? Made it 43 k's.
How many stops we got to make along the way, you reckon?
I think I might just keep it running.
They're in second?
Yeah. Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
Beautiful. Day 0.2. 40 kilometres out of 3,700. We're bump starting the rest of the trip. Great.
First stop is Merredin. Get into Merredin, get into the service station, fill up both bikes. Chris alarmingly into the reserve range. My bike with about half a tank, 240 k's total. We get to the servo and fill up, pay, go to leave, and Chris's bike is very flat. Just ticks now, not even trying to crank.
All right, so we're in Merredin. Bit of carnage already. I've lost a bolt for my indicator, so that's just freewheeling around. And the battery is completely dead, so I'm gonna head into town to Repco to see if I can get another one, because bump starting is gonna get pretty old over the course of the next few weeks, I'd imagine.
Diagnose the problem. No charge coming into the battery. Battery is new as of mid last year, so shouldn't be the battery's fault. But voltage is a solid 9.6. Not good. So once we've diagnosed the problem and realised that we can't fix it, the recommendation's made to get a battery charger so we can charge up the Wish King each night to get enough battery in to run the starter each day. Head into store, grabs a charger, 0.8 amps, $159. Look it up, $49 at Bunnings. We got taxed hard. Opportunist tax. The Wish King has paid the price. On the way to Southern Cross, electrics begin to die on the Wish King. It is running entirely on wishes. It decides occasionally to display a speed and occasionally to display a trip meter, but short-lived.
Nothing's working now. Got no indication, no headlights, no tail lights. For some reason the thing's still running. Running out of daylight, we've got to get to camp. It's about, I think, 200 or 300 k's from here still, so just gonna have to push on and hope.
And when we arrive in Southern Cross, all lights are off, except a flickering headlight and a flickering tail light, and somehow the Wish King survives and runs on. So a couple of hours delay now, one with a tardiness and one with a diagnostic of a problem on the vehicle. And we now are at risk of making Widgie before nightfall, which isn't as big a problem as it is now with a bike without a working headlight and tail light. Off we go. We make it to Coolgardie by about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Sun's beginning to set.
How's the trip going so far?
Well, it's getting a bit late, and the bloke with no headlight is currently filming me.
Yeah.
So that's going well.
Same bloke that tried his air horn and stalled his bike.
Same bloke that tried his air horn and stalled his bike.
Bloke, eh?
At a stop where he got to wait like 15 minutes.
And it was finally our turn to go. I think the novelty's really worn off for everyone. I'm bump starting myself.
Widgie is 70k away. We've got to make a call. Do we stay in Coolgardie or do we make the run for Widgie, knowing that we already have a tight schedule to get to Eucla the next day? So we make the run to Widgie. Chris is basically a hemorrhoid of the support vehicle as we go. As it begins to get darker and darker, you can see the support vehicle's lights hit the signs, then nothing, and then my lights hit the sign, and Chris is between us. So touch and go, but we make it to Widgie. Get there about 6 o'clock. Everyone's setting up in the dark. Good start to day one. But all vehicles made it. Unlikely outcome considering, well, even in Mundaring, what we thought would be the case, and especially when we had 9.6 volts on the battery and it was dropping as we revved. So the Wish King used many of its wishes to arrive. No one got much sleep.
It's 3:30 in the morning.
Depart nice and early. Head to Norseman for a morning coffee. Get talking to a few boys. Heading over to the GP. Admiring the steeds that we brought with us. Impressed initially that we picked up what we could for 5k. That was short-lived once we started going into the problems that they have and the risks that we are taking. Chris with electricity and myself with a rear tyre with a shortened life expectancy. We leave Norseman, head towards Balladonia. When we get there, Chris's bike again will not start. Flat, very flat. Leave Balladonia, make it about 70 k's, and Chris pulls into a rest area. Is there a problem? Does he need a piss? No. He's found a dried up lake bed and wants to give the Wish King a crack. I park up and he is celebrating akin to Miller making the podium. But it's short-lived and he puts it on its side. Fortunately, the same side it's already been dropped on in the past. Well planned, well planned.
Got a real animal here in the zoo. What have you done, Chris?
Did you lift your dog?
Oh, you're leaking fuel, bro.
Yeah. Wake me up. Got a bit too much weight on the back.
Look at this, this dirty thing.
Look where
Just absolutely snaky. and had a spill.
We run to his aid, mostly laughing. Fuel is leaking. Help him pick the bike up. Will it start? Of course it won't. Why would it? Hasn't all day. We'd have a few attempts at the bump start, but the lake bed is too soft and the rear continues to dig in.
Are you bringing yours down? I thought you were going to bring yours down. It's like, they would have two down here. We have two stuck.
Bring the jump pack down, he gets it started. An acceleration of excitement as he goes up the hill to park up again. Wouldn't you know, it's cost us 45 minutes and we're at risk of arriving at Eucla late, just like day one.
What you been up to?
No regrets. I regret nothing. Do it all again tomorrow.
Right now.
It's tomorrow.
We get him out, clean him off, and away we go. We've just got kilometres and fuel stops. Today we've got the 90-mile straight, longest straight road in the Southern Hemisphere. Pretty exciting on a couple of demon motorcycles, let me tell you.
This is getting pretty old now.
Not a lot eventful happens other than service stations and the bump starts. The conditions vary. We go through about halfway through the day and get hit by a flash storm, heavy rain. We're drenched. The King, the ZZR, all drenched. Pull over to put wet pants on. The bike dies. Side of the road. 110k an hour on the Nullarbor. We have to attempt probably the riskiest bump start of the lot. Pick a gap, run it down, away he goes. We're off, we're back into it. We arrive to Eucla, it's still daylight, and we are in time for dinner and a beer, thank God. Set up camp in the day, hopefully the first of many, but we'll see what Chris comes up with next to avoid that. There hasn't been much talk about Jumba, and he has so far performed flawlessly, keeping an eye on the rear tyre, which is losing life by the kilometre. The harsh roads of the Nullarbor is taking its toll.